Hey Hofstra fans, it's time once again for the WB Mason Coaches Report. I'm Rob Joyce, joined by the head coach of Hofstra softball, Bill Edwards. Coach, you're supposed to start last weekend. You're driving to the airport.
In a blizzard.
Snow canceled the weekend for you, so you got an extra week of the preseason. How did that extra week go?
Went well. We had a practice yesterday that it was one of the best defensive practices that we've had here in a long time. I'm really excited to get on some dirt, get on some grass, and to play a little bit. So if I'm excited, I can imagine how the team's feeling right now. They're ready to go, so we'll see what happens.
Something we didn't talk about last week. What's it like having to, you go down a team like Florida State, who you're supposed to play, has all spring to practice on dirt and grass. You're stuck with 2 feet of snow on the ground. How do you adjust to that?
We have 2 services that we work real hard on. We have the turf service, which is in our bubble, and then we have the gym floor. So we have the 2 extremes, and we sort of compare it to a real hard surface, such as some of the West Coast services that we play on. Some of the Southern, services have that real fast surface, and then we have the slower services like the Northeast, teams play on, which is like our bubble. So we have 2 contrasts that we try to prepare the kids on, and so far it's worked out pretty well.
And because you have that extra week, do you notice, is it hard to kind of not have a practice that drags on where players are sick of facing each other, they just kind of want to go out and face someone else?
We're in that mode now because I had to remind them a few times. It says, we don't do a lot of drills. We just constantly work on our fundamentals, and we constantly do the same thing over and over again. And I tell them, I said, I know how boring this is. I know what you're going through. I know you want me to change things up and make it fun and all those things. I said, but we have to keep our fundamentals sound. It's all about being able to throw and catch. It's all about the fundamentals of our game. And I don't like to entertain the players, I like to make them better, and the way that you make them better is to constantly work on their fundamentals, which is what we've been doing.
And in situations like that, do you expect your seniors to kind of help everyone else along?
I think everybody has a real good work ethic on our team. I think they understand that our mantra is get to work and let's have a good day at work, even though we are playing the game, so there's sort of a double meaning there. But at the same time, everyone helps everyone through. We have great senior leadership, but we also have some great sophomores and some great juniors that also, join in. So it's sort of a team concept rather than relying on a couple people. But our seniors certainly set the example.
You also have 5 freshmen. What have you seen from them so far the preseason?
Maybe the extra week helped a little bit because they're starting to figure it out now. And, we usually figure it out about the middle of April. Everyone wonders why Hofstra softball starts to peak in April. Our system is so complex, and our fundamentals, all the teaching that we do, is really overwhelming to some of our younger players. And some of our experienced players, we have them in different positions now. So the middle of April, everybody starts to figure it out. Okay, and as they start to figure it out, we start to play better. This extra week now, actually 2 weeks of constant repetition over and over again. Our freshmen, our younger players are starting to figure it out, which is pretty good to see.
And it starts this weekend down in Tampa. You take on 5 teams: UConn, Illinois State, UL Lafayette, USF, and then UMass. Pretty good crop of teams you're playing.
Yeah, we're excited. UConn and UMass are sort of in the same boat that we are. They got snowed out last week, and they couldn't get out. So playing a couple of Northeast teams that are in the same boat that we are, sort of evens the playing field, so to speak. The other 3 teams have been playing very well against some great competition, so we have our work cut out for us.
Of course, USF, the team you played in the Super Regionals 2 years ago, Sarah Nevin's still there, their ace lefty. What makes her so good?
Just as she throws about 70 miles an hour with some nasty stuff as it comes across the plate. She also got great experience this summer, pitching with the U.S. national team. So when you combine great talent with experience, you sort of have the total package. And plus the fact she's a lefty too, so just being a lefty and just throws everything off to begin with. But we'll see what happens.
With a delayed first week, so you kind of have to wait that extra 6-7 days. Do you expect any first game jitters that happen every year?
No, you get so excited to get outside. Your energy and your enthusiasm builds over the week that you weren't playing. You're sort of mad. You got a little chip on your shoulder because you're not playing. Everyone else is playing. By the time we get outside, the excitement, the energy, I really have to channel them down a little bit to get them to relax to play the game the way that we need to play the game. So I'm, I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we stay in our tempo and on our rhythm of the game.
And with 5 games in 3 days, is it a good opportunity to see all your pitchers and what you have available?
Yes, which is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna, I sort of gave them what their roles were gonna be yesterday, but at the same time, we have to play every game as the game comes. We have 3 pitchers that will be thrown this weekend. 2 have had pitching experience before, and a freshman. As to what roles they're gonna, be exactly, it'll be, dependent upon the game and how the game goes, whether or not we want to relieve early or, split the time. But, we'll sort of figure that as we go along. But, we'll rely on the 3 of them certainly to get the job done.
All right, Head Coach Bill Edwards, enjoy the warm weather.
Hey, pleasure.
Hofstra has 5 games in 3 days down in Tampa. You can check out gohofstra.com for all your game information. I'm Rob Joyce. Thanks, Hofstra fans, for tuning in to the WB Mason Coaches Report with Bill Edwards.